Live from Talking Joe Studios, it's Talking Joe. Well, of course it's Talking Joe. It's literally the name of the studio. Joe wrote this copy!
Live from the Talking Joe Studios, it's Talking Joe.
Talking Joe is on the air.
Hey, it's me, Mark, and welcome to Talking Joe, the G.I. Joe comics podcast. And what bigger comics thing could there be than the biggest Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, which happened last week, in our normal parlance, released end of July 2026. So today's episode, we'll be talking all about San Diego Comic-Con, the experience, some of the news, and not going too deep into the toys because we are a comics podcast, but we'll be talking to a number of very special guests. There's a clue in the picture just there of all about their experiences of San Diego, and talking to those people with me, it's my regular co-host. It's none other than a real American Tim Finn.
Hello, Mark, listeners, viewers. Let's bring in our 37 guests, Mark.
I think you missed some. So coming up in the, I'm going to use a bit of the order of who's on my panel below. First up, it is none other than Phillip Donnelly, toy expert, articulated pointer, coming to us direct from the collection of Phillip Donnelly. It's Phillip Donnelly.
Hey.
Hello, Phillip.
Hi.
So welcome to Talking Joe's, your first time on with us.
It is, yes.
What's the one sentence, what is articulated points definition?
We're a podcast that tries to do deep dives into the toys that we love.
Okay, next guest.
Next up, it was Phillip's traveling companion. It is full-on creative consultant. It's Diana Davis.
Howdy.
Hello, Diana.
Do you want a sentence?
Give us a sentence.
Diana, as creative consultant, what do you do for Skybound?
I handle continuity. I suggest weapons, characters, vehicles. I provide reference materials.
Next guest.
Next guest. I'll do it in an order just so I can have this joke. Just to formally introduce you specifically, Diana, to our next guest. Ross, Diana, Ross.
Oh, that's bad. Hi.
Hi, Dana. Welcome to Hollywood Squares.
Woo.
It's Doctor of TBC, Dr. Sewage, none other than Ross Sewage. So, for people not immediately seeing you from your
please respect my fake title that I made up and put before my name, please.
Hello, Doctor. Thank you for joining us.
So, why are you joining us, Ross, today?
Because I'm some idiot punk musician who lucked out into being in a band officially sanctioned by Hasbro to be Cold Slither. So,
Hooray!
Yay for me and my love of G.I. Joe and Transformers and all things dorky. So,
Dr. Sewage, you play the character of Torch in Cold Slither.
I do.
What part of the band is that?
Well, technically, according to the action figure, it's keys. According to the cartoon, it's guitar or bass, depending on what the illustrator felt like drawing for that scene, and keys. I play bass though. We've pretty much settled into our places there.
The tag on your name also says Knights of Unicron, which I know is related to the 40th anniversary re-release of Transformers the movie. Can you tell us any involvement there?
Yeah, well, I guess one sentence is RPM was so happy with Cold Slither, he tapped basically the same people. RPM being the record label Rainy Phoenix Music, tapped the same people to do a re-recording of the Transformers soundtrack under the name The Knights of Unicron, a previous comic book name reference, and so we just we did that and we re-recorded all the album, and then we got to play those songs live.
Excellent. Very strong Very strong
Right
nerd credentials there.
I think my resume is getting pretty long now for the nerd credentials. Before it was, so it's official now. It can be officially stamped.
Mark, next guest.
Next guest. Let's bring him on as the official extra member of Cold Slither. It's none other than the voice of Cobra Commander. It's Frank Dodaro.
Greetings, my soon-to-be loyal subordinates. And, Torch, I'm so sorry I have to see your boss on the weekend. Nobody wants to.
I have to work on a Saturday, you know. Okay.
I got it.
Hello, Frank.
Greetings.
Frank is our Bob Rock, our Pete Best, whatever fifth member you want to add.
And for anyone who missed the last 2 episodes of Talking Joe, Mark, host of Talking Joe, has tapped Frank Todaro to do a little bit of voice work for us in some pre-recorded bits. What you just heard was live. If you're listening to this, that was coming out of a human space while the cameras were rolling. That was not Mark pushing a button.
Mark is always pushing my buttons.
So Frank, you are a voice actor.
I am, yeah.
You live where, and you work on such projects as what?
Oh gosh, I didn't know there was going to be an interview.
One sentence.
Okay, I live in Burbank, California. I scream in a box to pay the rent. I play characters like Starscream from a bunch of Transformers shows,
Mugman from the Cuphead show, Cobra Commander, clearly.
Muncher. God, what else? Bunch of anime, bunch of stuff. Very, very lucky to be able to put food on the table that way.
Excellent. Mark, next guest. Final guest.
Fantastic. And our final person joining us is none other than friend of the show, art collector, and much more besides. It's Shane Simek. Welcome back,
Yay,
Shane.
Shane.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, Shane. Very,
Thanks for having me.
very patient for waiting through all of that.
Glad I made the cut.
And Shane, what brought you to San Diego?
This was my first trip to San Diego, and I have a friend who works for Boom Studios, so I got to work at the booth at Boom Studios, and that got me in the door.
Shane, I'm going to interrupt this pre-interview bit and demand to know, as the editor of a Boom Studios comic book miniseries that was published this year, The Center Holds, would you say that 80% of the Boom Studios booth, 90% was given over to The Center Holds, my comic book? Was it 100%?
They had to rearrange. They only brought exclusive San Diego content. So if they would have went with Center Holds, there would have been no room for that.
Understood.
Okay, so it was mostly Center Hold San Diego exclusives. Got it.
I really need to keep one of those handy so that I can hold it up every time I plug my comic on the show. What I still have sitting on the floor for the last year is this printout that I did on the printer,
Untitled.
of every page, fully colored and lettered from before we had come up with The Center Holds. Mark, first question.
Yeah, so as a big comic fan, sort of San Diego Comic Con and stands in legend as the big annual event that kind of dwarfs almost everything else. There's all sorts of events, special guests, big panels, exclusives, announcements. But also, it's massive. It's over on the other side of the planet. It's difficult to find rooms, get tickets, yada, yada, yada. So it involves a lot of planning. So my first question to the panel is, when did you decide that you were going to go, and how much planning was involved in actually getting to San Diego?
Shane, you're up first.
Last year, I asked my friend, is there any chance that next year, if you go back, I could somehow tag along? And he said, let me find out. And as the year has progressed, I've gotten more and more information. I tried, thankfully, I did not have to worry about room or badge, since that Boom took care of that. But my planning, I tried not to over plan. because there is so much going on and it's easily overwhelming. It's like a comic book convention, an amusement park, and a rock and roll concert all at the same time for 4 days straight.
Phillip, question goes to you.
Well, see, the first time I went to San Diego Comic-Con was 1997, and I just kind of didn't stop. I missed 2022, but like for a while there, I was going on a press badge, so most of that was taken care of for me. Once went on as a volunteer badge. I got the 4 days for that. So usually it's because of Diana now that I'm actually able to go and even sometimes get rooming there. So doesn't take a whole lot of planning on my end, but I'm just very fortunate in that.
Is a little part of it, since some of our panel or all of our panel are in California, that even if you don't live in San Diego, it's a little less of a mental hurdle, right? I live a 4-hour train ride from New York, and so the prospect of trying to attend New York Comic-Con for me is not a big deal. It's sort of a medium deal, but the prospect of me attending San Diego, well, I'd have to get a flight, and I've heard hotels are so hard to get.
I mean, certainly, but yeah, I'm living in California, but it's more like a 10-hour drive. And then our organization was, we're there as guests of Hasbro to play the show and all that, but it was trying to cat ranch like 10 different people because we had to put on the show, figuring out emails back and forth. Had a minivan loaded up with fatal fluffy costumes and an acoustic guitar for the guys who were flying in because they couldn't. 3 different guitars I had to bring, so it was definitely, and that was right after we had to leave to go to rehearsals, and that was like I literally had put like the last stitch on a button for a coat for Frank to sport live as Cobra Commander. That was, and then put that last stitch and jumped in the van with all this stuff. So it was a bit of a hurdle in terms of then we had rehearsals in LA, and that's the coat that. Oh, there we go. That's my cute. Yeah.
I was just going to say, the good doctor made this with his hands.
That's some crazy sewing skills. I did costume design for a little bit, and wow, it's hard.
I did not know if I could do it, so I put it off to the last minute. But yeah, but I mean, it used to be, I guess, when I was going in the 90s, first of all, it was really easy to like sneak in, which was cool. I'm in this band.
Phillip is nodding his head.
Yeah, I'm in this band, and we have a 7-inch out, so I'm a professional, and they're like, sure, whatever. But that was less of a hurdle, and getting hotel rooms was not quite the crazy ordeal it is now. I'm not sure. It feels like a lot changed once the MCU hit the scene, and it became much more of like a Hollywood minute there, and they take over the whole gas lamp. It's pretty incredible to see. It's fun. But I could see it being very daunting, especially if you're like geographically much more disparate.
Frank, to you, when did you decide to go? How does this connect to previous trips you've taken to the convention?
Gosh, I think my first San Diego Comic-Con was 2009. And I maybe missed 1 year, but I've pretty much gone every year. So back in the day, it was, I was helping out at a table, sitting next to people, doing Comic-Con stuff. And now, we definitely plan ahead. We usually stay in like Old Town, get our tickets, get our hotel room well ahead of time. And it's kind of nice to just sort of take a cab and be away from all that insanity. But at the end of the day, so we ended up staying at the same place every year. But this year was a busy one. Usually I try to set aside a day to buy a lot of toys and comic books. So I didn't get a lot of shopping time this time. I did manage to spend way too much on toys, some within arm's reach. Oh gosh, that's funny. Man, you guys are good.
Mark has put on screen promo of all of the panels at which Frank was appearing and or performing.
Yeah,
that's 3 panels on Thursday, 1 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. That's a lot of work.
But like. Everyone that was on every one of those things are just like insanely kind, awesome people. So really the convention just felt like I was hanging out with friends for 4 days straight. and making new ones, and then Sergeant Slaughter, for frack's sake. I mean, like that, like he's like the coolest dude you ever meet, but he's like an action figure in a breakfast cereal. It's like he's so larger than life. It's so cool. Whoa, that's awesome. And another weird thing about this one is I'm healing up from a tendon surgery, but I jumped off a stage and air guitared for an entire song and was fine with a handful of ibuprofen. So yeah. This was the big healing convention for me. So I'm walking in a straight line again finally. But I don't know if that answers the question, but I bought a lot of toys.
It does. And then the question goes to wait, did we start with Diana? Who did we start with? Has everyone done this question?
Start with
Shane. We started with you.
I haven't answered yet.
Diana. When did you
do Shane? Do Shane.
Okay.
Shane did
it first. Diana, you're last.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about the Mama Airbnb.
Well, did Shane talk yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I'm here, and I'm coughing right away. I've been going for a while, off and on, since probably the 90s as well. But now I get to go on a pro badge, which is always nice, so I don't have to worry about that. And I have never done the little hotel thing you have to do online. I tend to either find a hotel room last minute, or we Airbnb it now in Little Italy, which is a lot easier, and it's far enough away that you can sleep at night. But there's like lots of nice restaurants, and it's like what, 3 or 4 trolley stops from the concert. You just walk in and out. It's nice. We have, this way we can take the dogs. We only have to get a cat and tree sitter and fish. So that works. And either we hop on the Amtrak and ride down there, which is really easy. It lets you off right downtown, or we drive. And the trick with that one going from LA is to go on Wednesday, if you can, to avoid the hellish we're going down to San Diego traffic. So it's pretty easy. It's a heck of a lot of fun. And going as a pro is rather nice, because I don't have to worry about badges, and I can sometimes get people in. I do notice that the one weird thing is I'm kind of in this limbo now where I'm between Super G.I. Joe fan nerd and pro, and I sort of in this little crack. Excuse Paloma, she's angry about it. So it's this weird little crack that I found myself falling into where I don't get into those really awesome, cool parties yet. No, I don't get backstage passes yet, but then at the same time,
I know a guy.
Oh, good.
I know a guy.
That works for me. But I still get all the cool, fun things of being like a pro. So, I'm just not complaining about that. It's just an interesting spot. So now I feel a little divorced from my fandom sometimes, which kind of is weird, not on purpose. And then I'm just the small cogs, so I'm on small cog land, which is like being stealth, I guess. I could have like stealth fun.
Ninja Force.
Stealth.
I just found that figure, the Cobra Commander Ninja Force.
Woo!
Okay.
I'm looking.
I hear you bought a lot of toys last weekend, Frank.
I don't know. I got one real cool one. I'll show you.
All right, Frank is holding up a classified G.I. Joe Snake Eyes. It's in a box. Mark's gone full screen. This is the 6-inch Cobra Commander figure who's got a crown.
Look at that art.
And it pays.
And he's sitting in a throne. So for us toy novices, for us people who only know everything about comics and animation, was that toy hard to find? Is it quite expensive?
It's not even out yet.
It's not out yet.
It's not out yet. I did
You've been given that
so
from
hard
Hasbro.
I voiced the commercial
right now.
for
Frank's
it.
like, yeah, look at me.
So yeah, that's my big flex,
Frank, say that again. That was good.
Oh, I did the commercial for it. There's on BBTS, Stop Motion Zack did this really cool thing, and it's posted online. You can see it. But yeah, so I was like, oh, it was really cool. Yeah.
See, for
that's awesome.
Everyone that said we weren't going to ever get another hooded Cobra Commander.
All it took was the employees going to bat for it for like what, a couple of
Jeez.
years now.
Right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's all
God
it
bless
took.
them.
Wait, are you telling me that a bunch of Hasbro employees know this character better than one Hollywood movie producer? Excellent.
Right?
Excellent.
Usually the way.
Look, it's very humid in San Diego. You know, the heat
Right.
gets you first. But Rome really seals in the flavor.
I didn't get the hooded Cobra Commander, but I got to make Frank into my own giant doll, so that was
Yes.
Yay!
one of one exclusive.
I got this. Look,
Yes.
Which
cool.
Duke figure is that, Diana?
this is not.
Knew
We're
it.
not allowed to call him Rugged Duke.
Why?
Because that's not an official name. But we just always. Always going to say I'm not allowed to call him Rugged Duke. Look how
Um,
look at that.
rugged.
So
I love-
this is a
Look how rugged.
The
this is an upcoming classified 6-inch Duke who's sort of based on his look in the Skybound comics. It's drawn by Tom Riley.
Ah, that's the thing. No, not really. This
Okay.
that's amazing. They let me kiss, and this is before I knew they let me take him home. I was about to lick him, but then there was go off with it.
Well, you licked him, you can keep him.
He's
It
mine
tastes like
now.
freedom.
Marcus
It's
put
like
a
freedom.
photo on screen of
No.
Diana, eyes closed, holding this action figure at San Diego, kissing his head gently.
No, it was really nice. I asked BMAC after that, do I have to give him back? And BMAC's like, no, he's yours. I know
Okay,
you're
so-
not ever going to sell him.
Who is this figure? How do we?
That's
how do
the
we
move.
designate
You
him?
kiss it, and it's yours.
You kiss it and it's yours, guys. Remember
Oh,
that.
really?
No, you just have to have a nice BMAC on your side. This is, from what I was told, as they were handing it to me, this is what originally Classified Duke was sort of planned to look like before they decided to go a little more sci-fi. So, if anything, the Energon Duke would have been maybe based on this, but I don't think there was any connection between it. Actually looks very similar to an earlier Duke figure. So, but I like
Yeah, I think as well they wanted to make the distinction that if they ever do go down the route of making Energon Universe inspired figures, that it's much more a clear demarcation that it's a thing rather than just a random figure. But yeah, it's sort of playing into various Dukes that we've seen before, like this little guy here doesn't look
And
too
this
dissimilar.
figure, and Diana, this figure is not out yet and will be in the future.
he'll be out very soon.
Okay, cool.
So it was nice to actually, because I was sort of more than a little annoying BMAC, like, can I touch it? Can I touch it at SDCC? Can I? Until he sort of gave in. And so that was really nice. And I ran.
This might organically lead to a next question for Shane, and then Dr. Sewage, and then Phillip. Shane, let's start with you. Were you given anything cool? Did you buy anything cool? What's one object you'd like to call out from your San Diego Comic-Con trip?
John Boy Myers gave me a signed Ultimate Batman from his table.
Woo!
So that was
This
cool.
is a variant cover of
variant
which
cover
issue?
that he had done.
Okay.
I believe it's 22. I'm not reading Ultimate Batman, but it's a very cool cover, which actually that Duke action figure reminds me a lot of his version of Duke he did for some of the trade paperback covers. He was very like geared up and tough looking.
And Phillip, did you buy anything you want to call out, or did anyone give you anything that was a fun surprise?
Freebies were a lot less this year, weirdly. Buy anything that really calls out. No, I just kind of bought a bunch of comic books that were like, ooh, I like this cover, or it's in my want list. I bought one thing that was on my wanted list for my comics. Everything else was just flashy cover I'm going to grab. So.
Dr. Sewage, you were busy. You were working for a lot of the weekends.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mark is held up to the screen an IDW G.I. Joe Classic trade paperback, which has John Boy Myers' drawing of a bunch of Joes, including Duke, in this very rugged, geared up look. Good reference. Dr. Sewage, did you buy anything, or were you given anything that you'd like to call out from the convention?
Bought the Turtles because My love for G.I. Joe goes just to anything O-ring. So Super 7 put these out. Kind of ticked because they put out the 2 other ones that didn't glow in the dark, and I already bought those. So now I've got the full set.
This is all right, for people listening, not watching. That's the 4-pack. What do they look like?
I'm sorry. A 4-pack from Super 7. They're O-ring turtles, so they're constructed like G.I. Joes, but distinctly different legally. And but they're shorter than 3 3/4. They got the height right on it, and they glow in the dark, which I can't show you right now because it's very bright.
Okay.
Here.
Have you tested it?
And these are
I did. It glows really good. It's
and these
awesome.
these look like the 1987 cartoon.
Yeah, it's from the original cartoon based on that. So they're doing a series of that in O-ring, and so they did a SDCC exclusive where they glow in the dark, and that was exciting. Got this I was given.
Oh, it's so cool.
This is I want more Transformers crossovers within. I want the G.I. Joe crossovers because those are some of my favorites. But I cannot resist a Gem crossover. And it's glad to see that Blaster's no longer on the DL. He's out loud and proud.
Right.
I'm really proud of the guy.
Dr. Sewage, can you describe this for people listening, not
Blaster,
watching?
I'm so terrible. I keep forgetting. Blaster, Transformers Gem crossover toy. It's Blaster glammed up, kind of in like lavender and chartreuse colors, along with some tapes. He comes with a guitar that's kind of shaped like the Autobot symbol, and he's ready to rock with Gem and the holograms.
Will you open this?
Yeah, of course. I've gotten there.
Okay, but
I'm
you're
just rearranging my shelves till I can open all this stuff. Yeah,
all right, you do open your toys. It's a loose collection, not so much a mint.
Oh no, I open up all my stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I got to play with them. So what else? Oh, I forgot to bring it out. I got glitter and gold Gem from the Loyal Subjects. So that was the one I was definitely willing to pay for. It's gorgeous. And then of course this one I feel like I was very entitled to because I picked it.
Yeah.
The Fatal Fluffies. First of all, I'm a Dreadnought. Second of all, I made a Fatal Fluffy costume. There we are.
That is so gorgeous.
Thank you.
It's so cool.
So I put that costume together before it was announced, and I was like, okay, we got the costume going. And then Lenny was like, secret, like, I'm glad you made that costume. That's the next San Diego exclusive. So basically, I willed it. So if anybody wants the next G.I. Joe San Diego exclusive, let me know. I'll build a costume at my own expense, and then they'll just make the toy. That's the way that works. So we just will those things into expense. And I guess comics-wise, I was really happy to run into my friend Tom Neely, who did the Humans comic. It used to be at was it Image?
Image. Now it's at Uncivilized.
Yeah, and it's called The Jungle now. And I hadn't seen him in years. And we did a song for Humans. My other band, Ghoul, we did a surf rock song for the soundtrack. That I guess it's released digitally. There may be a physical release at some point, but it was great to run into him and get a couple new issues of that because I really liked Humans a lot. That was a really fun comic, and I'm glad he took a break, but he's back at it. So that's awesome. Tom's a great guy.
Mark, I just asked a question. You should ask a question of our panel.
Well, we've not quite got through to the end, so we can ask Frank and Shane what cool things they got as well.
I actually bought a one of a kind handmade figure that I don't know if you guys are gonna like as much as I do. Even though I'm a tail end Gen X guy, so far as Star Wars, I love Dexter Jetster from Episode 2.
That is a controversial hot take. Wow.
I love this scene. I think that movie could have been a awesome film noir movie, going to a diner, seedy underground, and then there was sand. But yeah. So Elliot Garnett was the guy who made that. He had this giant Dex's diner at the end of one of the rows, and I'd been talking to him for a while back and forth, and I love that. Then my friend Zev made this for me.
Ooh, wow.
Yes.
Which
like a hair dryer gun.
And it's like the size of a hair dryer. He upscaled it a little bit, so it
This is a human scaled Cobra Commander 1982 G.I. Joe laser pistol, the accessory that came with the figure. But Frank is holding one that is human scaled, and it's painted sort of silvery.
Yeah, it's like a kind of a gunmetal-y, sweet looking.
Really
And when
nice.
are we going in for surgery to put the hole in your back? So
I love how the classified has the little backpack, but like, nah, come on.
Not gonna do it.
Snakes have weird bone structure back there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. I was just saying to Frank that I came back from Joe Fest with one of these in my luggage.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Mark is holding up his own one. That's black.
That's so cool.
Are you saying were these made by the same person or entity? You guys?
Well, I don't know if it was from the same like 3D printing model, perhaps potentially, but yeah, I guess whoever has access to the original teeny tiny toy might have been able to to do something.
Yours has
Let's
a stand.
And
Let's
one
go
more thing
to-
real quick, just because Ross is here. This is
Oh yeah, these are gorgeous.
yeah. That's,
Sorry, the
Oh.
RPM. It's the cassette release of the Knights of Unicron reformatted Transformers soundtrack, and they did this beautiful release where they did Blaster and Soundwave in cardboard box form, and with the tape in the chest. And when you open the box, there's an actual cassette in there for you to play with the soundtrack
Oh,
on
neat.
it. And it comes with some nice, two nice cloisonne, whatever pins, really nice
Cloisonne.
ones. Cloisonne pins.
Frank and Dr. Sewage, do you have the ability to play audio cassettes?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Just because I assume many people don't.
If I had a real stretch, I can borrow an 8-track machine I know is functioning. So,
Very good. Very good.
but yeah, gotta have cassette, vinyl, CD, all of that ready to go. You never know what format thing you kept in your archives.
Fun fact, I have a cassette player in my car, and for the last 18 years, one of two cassettes has at all times been in my car cassette player, the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack, or Milli Vanilli's Girl You Know True.
Aren't they supposed to turn into
honestly-
Bohemian Rhapsody after a certain amount of time?
Just transforms and
Yeah.
morphs. That's awesome.
converts.
I can see
into it.
I see a proton pack over Frank's shoulder as well.
Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself, Frank.
By the way, I love your coffee cup. I feel like we should all like
I
hold
do.
up our coffee.
I love it. My fiance was from New York, so before she lived here, this would remind me of her every morning.
I'm out.
So,
I need
little
more.
romance.
Does anybody understand what this is?
Is that Star Wars related?
This is the one of those like non-spill things that you would put on a boat.
Yeah.
But it's the same model they use in Deep Space Nine for a Rockaccino cup.
Ah!
I found it in the thrift store,
nice.
like from the 90s or whatever. So yeah, this is
Very good.
drinking coffee out of Ben Sisko's. We're crossing the streams here. I'm sorry.
I think we've,
Okay, cross the way.
Mark, I think we've now gotten everyone to answer this question.
Did Phillip?
Let's go to
Phillip answer?
I answered.
Diana.
Diana is holding Sergeant Slaughter's marquee, the like little sign that would have been on a table when he was either on a panel or perhaps signing. It has the San Diego Comic-Con International I logo on the left, and it says Sergeant Slaughter in the font Impact, and then the Sarge has signed it, and it's in a little protective plastic bag.
Well, of course it is. I got that at the panel. I ran up and asked, and no
The
one
panel
said
where
anything.
he was inducted as the third living member to the G.I. Joe Hall of Fame at that panel. That's a very
Right?
special piece you got there.
I love it.
Human member.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think I've
I
got.
like what's written on the back.
Can you read it?
It says, "Welcome to Comic-Con. Please be aware that many members of your audience may be under 18 years of age." And then it just goes on and
Does it have any warnings about fist fights over Batman comics on that?
at the bottom in very small print.
There may be a fist fight. What was the
There
which
may
Batman
be a
comic
fist
was
fight.
that? There was a giant fist fight at San Diego Comic-Con.
I
that
heard,
the one on the
I heard there
panel?
was a bleeding cool story about fistfights over the Dark Knight Returns recreation exclusive thing, and the person who made it, Felix Comics, said that was all made up, and everyone was very well behaved. So who knows?
They were just
He
near
would
fist fights.
say that. He would.
Yeah.
It's the kind of guy who would instigate fights, is the kind of thing that sort of person would say.
No, the big-
Let's
the
have a
big
bit of visual flair of
Woo! Was that what you meant to show?
No.
That's so cool.
Let me try. Let me try again.
There's something else.
I don't know if that worked for you.
There we go. Oh,
I love you smell your armpit.
yeah. It smelled like maggots after staying up till 3 a.m. for like 5 nights in a row. It definitely smelled like maggots.
Man.
Look at that guy.
So there's
he is a towering giant of a gentle man.
All right, so we're watching some video from the G.I. Joe panel. Sergeant Slaughter has just walked in. All of Cold Slither are also up on stage, along with, is it 2-3 people from Hasbro? And in Cobra Commander attire, Frank.
B-Mac and Mark and the new designer.
Eric.
Eric.
You to our guests who are in this video, how much ahead of time were you sort of prompted to do this performance? Was
About
any of
like
it in?
a half hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
a
there
lot
was
of it was
that.
just made up on the spot, but man, oh my god.
There was a rough outline that finally I think I saw the night before on Wednesday. It's been talked about for a while, but yeah, these things get put together very last minute. But I think we had enough cues and we got enough improv experience between all of us. Just yes and your way through it, and then Sergeant Slaughter comes out and tells you to leave, and you leave.
God, you and the rest of the band are so good at like that crowd work. Like while the video was playing, like I was banging my head in character, but I was also like in person. Like it was so cool.
I'll just like jumping on Matt's back and running through the crowd. That's the stuff I would do on a normal day out,
so
just
good.
to annoy my friends. So yeah, we had a lot of fun with the crowd. We got them to. They played the song, the new single "Cobra Island," and that I had just completed a video for a couple weeks ago. So they were able to played that. We ran through the crowd, and the crowd got a lot of fun. I would love to see more of that just from panels in general. I think the Transformers, they also had our guitar player come up and play acoustic guitar with Stan Bush, and he sang The Touch acoustically. I just love when panels have big surprises because it just makes you really want to, like, you never know what's going to happen, and it's great. And
there were more,
Frank fighting with another Cobra Commander and having a good, like...
Yes.
The dueling Cobra Commanders was fun.
Yeah.
There were more people in the panel than that. That was just rather early on. As soon as you came in and they gave you the footballs on the stick, I decided to get a picture.
It was a packed panel.
It filled up. Yeah.
So I have to explain maybe to the crowd, we are holding foam footballs on a stick, which is made by a super fan who is campaigning very hard to get the fridge into G.I. Joe Classified and goes to all these big cons and passes out fridge merchandise made of their own accord. They just get this stuff made. I don't know what kind of job they have, or if they even have a job, or if they're just a trust fund kid. I don't know. But the giant foam football on a stick is like a foam finger. I got one of those home. That's going to be one of my treasured items from any like Comic-Con. It's just ridiculous. And there's Phillip behind us right there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, so Mark and I were not at this convention. 4 of you were watching or taking part in this panel. Just as a quick aside, Shane, because you were working the Boom Studios booth, do I have this right? Were you not able to go to panels? Could you get away?
I was able to sneak away here and there. Saturday was my scheduled day off, so I went to the Energon Universe panel on Saturday.
Okay. And then for those of you who know this Hasbro G.I. Joe panel, right? I'm seeing that there was a lot of actors performing in character, and then there were 3 people from Hasbro. Was the main sort of thrust of this panel toy announcements? Was it this combination of... Okay, all right. So this is a traditional, like, here are the upcoming classified figures.
And the reason why... I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry. They were also introducing... I'm sorry, Frank. They were in... Because Lenny, 2 toy designers, left Hasbro not so long ago. And so they were announcing the new designer, as well as Mark, all the way to the right there is... He's been writing copy for Hasbro for G.I. Joe for a while. So things like package copy, the new file cards. He's
Yeah,
doing all
Mark-
the
Yeah,
new file
he's writing
Yeah,
all
Mark-
those and then releasing those now. So
Mark Beasley. I think
Yeah.
Tim, you might have encountered in New York.
Yes. I met him at New York Comic Con.
Mhm.
Right, and he told me about the reference he hid in the crystal ball classified file card, and then the person behind Sergeant Slaughter's elbow, is that Eric Siebenalder?
Yeah.
Who worked on Transformers during the animated line? Okay.
So the
And
whole
I think
point of me
that's-
being there was to, like, it was a joke. There was an empty chair, and they were going to introduce the new designer, and then I came out and was like,
No more Joe figures, only Cobra.
and then there was a whole bit with the HR guy and stuff, and then the HR and yeah.
and they wanted the hooded Cobra commanders coming out, so they're like, wow, we can actually show. So Frank got to come up as the first like official hooded Cobra commander, I suppose. And they packed it in with Sergeant Slaughter getting inducted to the Hall of Fame, and they released a bunch of toy reveals. So although BMAC did say, he's like, well, I was pressed for time with maybe not enough announcements, so it was great to have all these other antics going on, and we were happy to be included to get the record, because the band is sort of, it's sanctioned by Hasbro, but it sort of runs as its own separate entity that has to take care of itself. So it's always nice when they can include us, have time to include us in something like that.
And then Mark, going back, to this photo, who's the person on the far left who has a
Cobra
Cobra?
PR.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think was Emily underneath that, right?
Is that a Hasbro?
No.
That's a Hasbro.
No,
that's
those are
Nick
separate.
Cat. She's a
Separate
writer.
cosplayers, and
Yeah.
writers.
Oh.
They're a writer, correct, on cartoons and some stuff
that's
like
right.
that. Yeah.
Transformers Cyberverse
Frank
actually
knows.
was one of those.
Okay.
And the other Cobra commander was a bit of a mystery. We couldn't. I don't think we could hear them from the panel.
That was
They-
Cobra Commander.
That was the real Cobra commander.
That was real Cobra Commander.
They
Okay, I
have
see.
been, Mark, they have been cosplaying together in America for years. Phil, you know.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That's Natalie. That's May's partner. Yes.
Yeah, Natalie and May have been cosplaying for some time together. It's
Ah.
epic. It's epic. They have it
Marvelous.
down pat. So
It's a
Mark,
gorgeous
is there
costume, yeah.
more visual flair in this batch, or should we get to a next question?
That's it from that batch. So we talked about the Hasbro panel. Maybe it's time for a quick advert break.
Tune in next week for more pro-social fun with the Likeables.
This forest sure is scary. Look at these cute little wooden creatures. Wait, what's that? It's engines for Sartan and Sartan's Oh no! G.I. Joe screams. Take that, G.I. Joe.
Sartans on the loose, red not to be, fatal weapons and stupid, ugly G.I.
So good.
it was so good.
Thank you. That was
So
Dr.
Ross,
Sewage,
do you want to tell us about Dr. Sewage? Sorry
when
to give
did-
you your
when
proper
did
title.
when did you shoot that?
what was that? Monday evening before Comic-Con, because I had to get
wow.
down to San Luis Obispo, where we packed up a lot of the gear that we were using, where our other band, me and Matt, who plays Ripper, our band, that's where we're headquartered. So we used a lot of that gear we had to bring down with us, and some drum rentals and stuff. So we were packing up all day. And while he was getting ready with this, I kind of put together his costume for a more street Ripper, and I've got more street torch costume now. And I had to go scout around by like some railroad tracks and find some kind of like creek or something to mirror those old kind of episodes. So we just like shot a bunch of shots, and I pieced it together over the next couple days to put into the show, because I love those old commercials. I'd found a couple I've ripped off. I'm sorry, I borrowed from various online sources to use live because I wanted the band to have a commercial break just like the cartoon and made all these interstitials. But now I'm like, well, they got all these new toys coming out. We need new commercials. So I gotta go check out this one about Frank. Is there any adults playing with the toy for the Cobra Commander commercial? Frank, is there any adults playing with the toys on the Cobra Commander commercial?
No, it's all stop animation. Stop.
Oh yeah, right. You said
animation.
it was stop motion. That was the original plan, was to do Fatal Fluffy stop motion something, and then they didn't. I didn't get the Fatal Fluffies in time in the mail, and so I thought about throwing a commercial together. So, and since we're adults, you don't have to fuzz out our faces or anything.
you signed the waiver.
Yeah, basically. So that was a lot of fun to put that together and play with my friend Matt, who I've known since 16. So it's good times.
we're looking at a photo right now of Cold Slither, the band, on stage performing. And also, I think that's Frank on the far right on stage in costume. Okay.
Risking his poor tendons.
All right. So Dr. Sewage, Cold Slither played at San Diego in 2025 and then also New York Comic-Con in 2025. And was there anything specific about the show this year in 2026 that was different than the previous shows? Was it just another attempt to like have an audience and have a live show?
Well, yeah, like the first show was more like proof of concept. So we wanted, just like, hey, Hasbro, like this could work. Like if you let us do this, and the record was out. So then New York, I was like amped it up. That's when I got the Fatal Fluffy on stage, and I had done bought a bunch of fake shipping boxes and put Cobra symbols on them and camo netting everywhere. This show, I was a little bit more restrained on the set dressing just because it was really more of a Knights of Unicron show. So, but we had the giant, the LED screen. That was, I'm not sure. We didn't pay for it. I didn't pay for it because that thing was crazy. So giant 20-foot LED screen. So I, went over the videos again, and I knew I was making the Cobra Commander costume, so we were going to be able to have him on stage, and the Fatal Fluffy that we hadn't had before. And I just want to keep adding elements, but it's, this is very much like it's at the behest of Hasbro and the label to when we get to do these things. We're not like a touring band, so I've got to build props for my other bands and get those shows ready too. So I've got like 2 severed heads I got to make for the upcoming Exhumed shows. I'll be spewing some blood and having fun with that. So,
okay, and then so at San Diego this year in 2026, are you saying you had 2 shows? There was a Cold Slither show and a
I also played in the Knights of Unicron, where basically Zartan jumped onto the drums, and we added the other guitar player, Sebastian Phillips from Exhumed, to be second guitar, and Matt stayed on guitar, and had a panoply of guest musicians, kind of like this podcast right now. It was kind of looked like that backstage with a bunch of different heads, people we had just met. So like Brittany Slays, Francesco from VBO, Sebastian Bach from Sebastian Bach, and probably other stuff. And Stan Bush and Vince DiCola. So they were all guests, and so it was really more of a show for Transformers, and Cold Slither kind of got to worm their way in to get some of the treasure and riches from that.
And Jem too. There was a nice
Jem. Britta Jem is just such a lovely person, and we performed with her in San Diego last year, and I don't know. I like to think maybe we inspired her, but she's her own person and has started doing Jem in costume, which she used to not do, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I love seeing Jem on stage, and she's doing like real choreography and really like upping her game in terms of the show. I got to do all the videos for that one too, for the LED wall, and because they changed stuff, I had to do those live. So if you looked backstage, you would see Torch behind a computer pressing these panels to trigger the videos going. And that was like a lot of and then Britta came out in Jem costume and did 2 more songs with Sebastian Bach, which was never the crossover I ever thought I would see. It was Jem hanging out with Sebastian Bach. But I guess it makes a lot of sense.
So cool.
How did Sebastian Bach just end up? Because that was like,
how did he end up?
How did he end up there? I mean, how did he end up? But how did he end up joining in?
he the label contacted him because they wanted to have like cool guest vocalists for the record, and then he agreed to do the show, and because he's kind of like I guess I don't want to say that like he's a big name, he's a big rock star, right? So we thought, okay, the Transformers soundtrack, we don't have as much to play. It's kind of a short set, so we threw some Skid Row songs on the end as like a fun thing to do, and personal challenge for me because that bass player's way better than I am. And yeah, so he came out, but yeah, somebody suggested at some point he was gonna I Remember You, the Skid Row song, that Britta was gonna sing it. And I was like, well, that's sick. I love her, she's great. And then when we were at rehearsals, he was like, stick around, I want you to do Youth Gone Wild with me. In fact, everybody's gonna do Youth Gone Wild with me. So all the vocalists came out on stage for Youth Gone Wild, and I don't know, something about seeing Jem up there too is just so delightful and fun. It's like the whimsy in this, and I'm up there on stage laughing and smiling, and I hopefully just as a fan myself, and then hopefully that everyone else is laughing and smiling too, and having it's such a delight to be part of this and bring.
It was a blast.
Yeah,
it was a blast. I brought my husband Cullen, who always likes to tag along, and he likes watches and beer and things. And
yeah, I mean, this is the stuff I always wanted to see. I'm going to see the live Masters of the Universe show that they did in the 80s with the actual muscle guy and She-Ra. And for some reason, there was a big roller skating battle at the end of the show, which was really strange. But I mean, I was delighted about that as a kid. And so, like, I don't know, I would have been over the moon to see G.I. Joe bands and Transformer bands and Jem live. So it's really so exciting that I get to be a part of it. It's sort of a lucky circumstance and a lucky chance.
It was a good show. It was really, really good.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, fantastic.
And just to jump in for a second, your Dare to Be Stupid was pitch perfect, awesome. Oh my God. Like, we were just jumping up and down backstage. I don't know how you just like a machine gun just spit all that out. It's perfect.
Yeah, I think that was I was in the right place in the right time and the right price, which was like free. I was probably the only. So instead of I'm sure they tried to contact Weird Al, but that man is busy and probably a bit expensive for this project. So I got the opportunity, and I was scared as hell to record it, but people they accepted it and they wanted me to do it live. So
these two shows that were at San Diego this year, what is the event?
It was one big show.
One big show.
One big show. Yeah.
And
Cold Slither opened for Nights of...
it was Jem.
Okay.
And I was running video for Jem. Then I had to. Then I played with Cold Slither. Then we had like a half-hour break, and we jumped back on in different, basically streetwear for Nights of Unicron.
Okay. Yeah. Was the venue? Was it part of San Diego, or was it at like a club?
No. It's House of Blues in San Diego. I've played there before. Never headlined there, but I've definitely played there before. I think Ghoul played there with Municipal Waste, and Exhumed opened for Venom Inc. there. So I was familiar with the venue for sure. But it's a genuine, just a rock club. They play rock shows, and the label was really adamant. They want this to be a rock. Yes, it's part of geekery and nerddom and fandom, but it's got to be a good rock show at the end of the day.
And it is a separate ticketed event. It's not part of San Diego Hasbro G.I. Joe package. You got to go to the House of Blues website or Ticketmaster or something and get your ticket.
It was a full show with three acts doing full stage performances.
Cool.
And Frank, for you, how did this rank along your other experiences of your career?
This is probably one of the biggest highlights of it was a reality warping love fest. I can't even imagine. There's something, if you don't mind me going on a tangent, there's something about the G.I. Joe fandom, about the Transformers fandom. Like, we all love Star Wars and Star Trek and all that stuff, but there's something a little more punk rock about this, where the people that make the stuff and the people that love the stuff, there's not a huge barrier between us. And like I said, this was just hanging out with friends. But also, like, what the hell? I'm on stage with rock gods, and I'm saying that to your digital face right there, man.
The rock, the Cold Slither. We're definitely referring to Cold Slither as rock god, not ourselves. We're just goofy punk rockers.
I know, but oh my God, man, come on. You made some magic there. And it's just such an honor to be a small part of it. And yeah, this is.
I mean, you're a big part of it. You're our boss. What the
Yeah, promote it.
I have to
Signs
say,
the checks.
in addition to a cassette player in my car, I also have a CD player in my car. And when I bought the Cold Slither album at the New York show last year, after New York Comic Con, I was so surprised that the first thing that I heard was Cobra Commander giving orders to Zartan and those nincompoops.
Yeah.
And an excellent Cobra Commander. And I thought, oh, this is really like 2 steps up from what I thought it might be. This isn't just like a good band playing some sons. Like everything about this is great.
I mean, we're blessed. We have a lot of fun with it, and we're like super GI Joe fans. Me and Gus have been trading photos of our collections for years. We've just known each other through the metal scene, and we're like this for this goofy one-off episode, but really hoping we can like take this and keep growing with GI Joe because it's so much fun to do, and bring in stuff from like Energon Universe and Dire Tech and all the cool stuff where it's like GI Joe is yes, there's a lot of it for us rooted in nostalgia, but I think it can be a thriving thing, and it is thriving through Skybound, and I want to like hopefully continue to be a part of that and be celebrating it as like we're playing this music, but we're playing it as fans, and I want to keep bringing that to people. So we're gonna hopefully keep going for a while.
I've got a logistics question for everyone. Maybe we can just go down the column, starting with Phillip. How do you sleep? Do you eat? Do you sleep well? Do you eat well at San Diego?
Yeah. So I am clearly not a rookie at this. So it used to be when I was, a young starving high school or college kid, that I would pack in Lunchables into my bag and just kind of sneak away in the middle of the convention. And, you have your lunch while sitting in a corner while the convention runners are yelling at you to not lean against the walls. But now it's you can walk out into downtown because San Diego Convention Center, a lot of people, if you haven't been there, you might not realize it's across the street from downtown San Diego and literally the touristy gas lamp area. So you can walk a block and you'll be at a lot of restaurants. There's the Hard Rock Cafe or the Hard Rock Hotel right there. Next to that, there's the old spaghetti factory. 4 blocks down, there's this old Irish pub that's just built in there. So finding food is not an issue. There's even like a little deli if you don't want to do a full sit down. So you walk for 5 minutes and then you're away from the biggest of the crowds. Downtown is still crowded, but it's not as bad as the convention center. And again, the convention center is there. There's a street, and then there's train tracks. And those train tracks, there's 2 trolley lines. Like at each end of the convention center, there's 2 stops. So you can immediately get onto public transportation and go to a different part of San Diego if you want. And
maybe a different related but different question for Dr. Sewage is, as rock gods, what are the green room demands for Cold Slither in terms of food or snacks or booze?
Dreadnoks don't drink booze, so
of course.
But the Knights of Unicron might have had a bottle of Make and a white. We're a little bit relaxed now. It's like I have like white wine and like an energy drink. It's not getting like tore up, but it's just a little like get over the nerves a little bit, especially.
There's got to be a few bottles of grape soda and
we had grape soda. We were delivered. We asked for 12 grape sodas. They were delivered. They were on stage. Can't really throw those out to the crowd because it's going to hurt somebody. But we did get and a box of chocolate donuts was back there. A box of chocolate donuts for actual eating, and then the crappy ones from the grocery store for throwing. So we threw out some donuts in the crowd. But speaking of eating, so we did get a couple boxes of Dunkin' Donuts and at the show on Thursday, and I basically kept picking from that box for the next 3 days for my breakfast at the hotel room. And it's a little disconcerting how well preserved those donuts stayed over 3 days. Like, But yeah, that was eating was
Or the
definitely
next 3
difficult
months.
there for me. And
Dr. Sewage, you had described staying up till 3 a.m. So
yeah, sleeping was also difficult.
Okay, so not much sleep at this on this trip.
Not till I think up until the show day itself, I was up till 4 a.m. editing videos and getting stuff and Spotify Canvas videos for the songs for Knights of Unicron, all the stuff to put out, and then got up at 7 a.m. to do Zartan's makeup. So 3 hours sleep, did that panel, set up the show, played the show, and then was pretty jazzed that night. So I didn't get much sleep till maybe Friday, I think. And so yeah, there was not much sleep to be had.
I think there was a fancy meal one night because I've got some evidence. There.
That was the one really good meal I had.
My gosh,
and Frank was there too. It was such a pleasure. Hasbro had a dinner for so this is a group of people from Hasbro and Frank and me and Gerardo from RPM and some people are other artists and designers who've worked on the line. And it was Sergeant Slaughter's celebration dinner for being inducted into the Hall of Fame and rekindling his long-going romance with Hasbro and getting that going again in the Triple T tank. So his likeness is part of G.I. Joe very firmly again, and it's something for us all to be happy about because he is just a living icon and such a representative of the G.I. Joe brand, for the toy collectors and cartoon enthusiasts especially. So yeah, and we had this nice dinner, and I think I sort of accidentally got invited because I was at the right place at the right time. The manager Paul he's like, what are you band doing? You guys sticking around? And I was like, well, the rest of them are leaving, but I'm going to be around tomorrow. Me and my fiance are doing a cosplay, and we're going to hang out. He's like, you should come to the dinner. B-Mac, put him on the list for dinner. And he's like, okay. And
he's such a cool dude.
They pocketed my hand, the handshake. He's like, I'll take you places, kid. And I'm like, all right. Awesome. That was fun.
And then
it was a lovely evening.
To another performer, Frank, you eat okay? You sleep okay at San Diego?
Oh gosh. I think I finally slept the last night. Yeah, I didn't really sleep very much. But that dinner was so magical, and Sarge is just like the nicest dude you'll ever imagine. Like, it's so funny because you think of him as this, square, very rhombus jawed, maggot and all. But like he stayed and made sure everybody got pictures. One of the guys took a picture of him throwing them into the water, and I got Cobra clutched. It was a dream come true. But no, we did not sleep very much at all. We did not eat very well at all. Back in the day, I remember, like Phillip, you were talking about, when I first started going, we would go to the grocery store and just get like a big pallet of like hard-boiled eggs and granola bars and just kind of like graze for the rest of the week, knowing that there's no way we're actually going to eat. But yeah, lots of last-minute taco kind of stuff.
I think me and Frank said, do what Phillip does. You're much smarter, and you take care of your body and get some nice food and sleep.
Yeah.
Can I throw to Shane? Shane, you posted some great photos of your SDCC experience, and it felt like a good chunk of those were of like food vans and drinks and all sorts of interesting bits to eat.
The people I knew at Boom, they had a taco burrito stand down on the other end of the convention center, so we hit that. Some friends I ran into there clued me in. There's a taco burrito truck that parks out back of the convention center during the day. So the first time I went, they had a huge line. The second day, I just happened to walk up, and there was 3 people. I have been to the city of San Diego before, so I did get to visit Hodad's. Which I stumbled across my last time there, which is just a burger and milkshake place that is very cool. And then ran into people I knew there. So other than that, yeah, during the day, we just Boom stocked a lot of snacks, and we grazed off of those.
I want to actually ask a quick follow-up to Shane, since you mentioned the Boom booth.
Yeah.
Were you selling comics for Boom? Were you helping a line? Were you bringing people autograph stuff?
What
was your actual responsibility?
Depending on what was going on. Prep, like the booth was all set up, but there was bagging and boarding that needed done. Putting some of the blind bags together that we sold. Then yeah, I ran one of the point of sale terminals, helped with line control during a couple of the signings. So yeah, it just depended on who was there, what was going on, and what needed done. I did many years ago, I ran a comic book store. I've been to many conventions, and then in my current job, we work a lot of events. So it was a weird mix of, it's a different environment, but I kind of know how this stuff works. Thankfully, the Boom point of sale was very user-friendly. So that was not an issue. And it was all cashless.
I want to come back to blind bags, but first, Diana, eat okay, sleep okay at San Diego?
Heck yeah. I'm not screwing around with staying up. I mean, maybe the latest I went to bed was 2 one night, but make sure that we get good food. We all had like cereal or yogurt or granola stocked in the fridge. Then Phil and I went out to that Irish pub one day. I forget how else we did lunch, but we managed to grab enough. And then we made sure we had a good dinner every night. Last night, we did a wrap-up dinner at a kind of a cool little sort of, I guess, an anime themed, that sushi restaurant called Cloak and Petal. It's really cool inside. They've got inside they've got little fake cherry trees and little sprinkly things from the ceiling. So yeah, and a
grease gun wired up to a piece of artwork as just decor.
That was a little strange, but it was good. Yeah, you got to make sure you eat and drink and take the time for it. And like Phil said, San Diego is a great spot for a convention. It's set up that public transport is fantastic, and there's food everywhere, and it's just easy to get around and eat. You have to make the time. So Phil said he didn't do planning, but he generally tends to go ahead and figure out all the panels we need to hit and what we need to see. And that way we can make sure we leave space for that. I think there was one day we grabbed some food and just sat in they have a little green room, a little pro lounge that professional badges will get you in. There are very few, you're not going to see Adam Kubert walk through the professional lounge at Comic-Con, but you're going to get chairs and a nice place to sit. So yeah, you just have to take the time to make that space for yourself. Otherwise, con's not going to be as fun. If I don't eat, someone dies. So
many years ago, the writer Stephen Grant, who wrote 2 issues of G.I. Joe, don't forget, for Marvel, had a column at comicbookresources.com, and he every year would write or sort of update his con suggestions for people going to San Diego for the first time. And I remember one of them was take a shower every day. It's like, you think you smell fine. I assure you, you don't. But sort of one of my personal musts for conventions is if I pass a water dispenser or a water fountain, if I'm not carrying my personal water bottle, I probably haven't had water recently. So some small conventions just out in the hallway, they'll have cups and a big Poland Spring water dispenser jug. And I really appreciate that because it's sort of okay to forget to eat, but it's not okay to forget to drink water. And you really have to drink water at conventions.
And San Diego runs pretty warm. It was in the high 70s this trip. It was beautiful, but it was especially, we did some cosplay. I was in a giant foam dolphins costume. My fiance was dressed as Lobo, so I was her space dolphin.
And that was humid. Yeah.
It was hot. It was really hot, and the convention was really full and hot. You have to remember to hydrate.
Yeah, especially if you're a dolphin.
Right?
Yeah, I could just die.
Shane, tell us about blind bags at the Boom Studios booth.
There were a variety, and they were very popular. Like I said, everything they had there.
What was in them?
Everything they had was exclusive. So they had My Little Pony. They had Power Rangers. They had Something is Killing the Children, which they had 2 different sets that had a total of 3 comics in each set. There was, I forget what combination of books you could get. They had 3 different tiers. You were going to get 1 of 2 books, and then 2 out of a set of 12. So you knew you were getting 3, you just didn't know which ones. Power Rangers and Pony were just, you're getting one of these variant covers. You don't know which one.
Did they?
They also had blind boxes.
What's in a blind box? How many comics?
The Ponies was, well, I guess the Ponies was not a blind box. The Ponies had
Ponies
6 different
head.
covers. And
It's like a pack.
Cards.
It's a,
The box is like an actual box.
Right. You,
Like,
you
it
don't
said
mean
large
like
box.
you don't mean a short box for 150 comics
No,
or a shipping
it's like,
box. You mean like a pack
like
that
a
holds
shirt
6
box
comics.
at the holidays, like that size.
Okay, like that you'd put a folded button-up shirt in.
Actually, the Ponies box was actually one of those new folding little portable comic book boxes where you can carry, I don't know, like 6 to 8 comics in that. That's
Okay.
what the Ponies box was. It had 6 different covers that were all like chromium, and then 6 different cards that lined up with the Ponies. And those were the 6 covers you could get in the blind bags.
Was there a writer or artist signing at Boom who had a really big line, or perhaps at a panel who had a really big response?
I did not attend any of the Boom panels because I was at the booth.
Okay.
They had a variety of signings. I was there for a lot of them. The writer and artist of Something is Killing Children. That line always wrapped around the booth, but they got through it no problem. There was never an issue.
Mark, do you want to put up the photo of James Tynion IV and Werther Deladera and me at New York Comic Con? Those 2 famous people that Shane just mentioned. Do you want to put that on screen right now? Oh, you don't have that photo. Darn.
Tim, only
what I
2
do-
of them were at San Diego.
What I do have a picture of is the Energon Universe blind box. So this was a PSA exclusive, combining with Skybound to create an SDCC exclusive Energon Universe blind box featuring PSA graded exclusive comics across G.I. Joe, Transformers, Void Rivals, and Mask, each one containing an exclusive cover by Torin Clark or other rare variants to chase. So these are the Torin Clark covers of Baroness on the G.I. Joe 1. I think this is G.I. Joe issue number 22, the Void Rivals, Transformers, and Mask. And it was a little bit I think these are Diana's photos now. A little bit controversial because this was the only way you could get this specific comic. These specific comics even was via a sort of blind box lottery, and they also came pre-slabbed as well, which is slightly unusual. So I'm putting on a little video, sort of giving a guided tour of the blind boxes.
So the box is it's like it's got a color printing on the front, which has parts of those images, and on the back it tells you that you may get one of these 4 comics, and in it is one pre-slabbed comic. That's right.
Yep. Wow.
Okay.
So
How much were those? Do we know?
126.
No.
No.
120. I'm saying, oh no. Sorry.
Oh,
That's a lot.
I was like, you weren't there.
Oh, God.
It was a lot. And it wasn't just those comics. So if you notice, the Transformers one had on the pictures had a red title, but then some had a blue title, and then some had a shiny gold title.
So these I'm so baffled by these are completely slabbed as you buy them.
Right.
Wow.
And graded.
As a guy who opens his toys and likes to read his comics, it's very bizarre to me. But hey,
Yeah.
there's
That's
something
how
for
you
everyone.
got that picture.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I did end up pulling a 10.
Oh.
And this is the only slab. It was weird, and I feel a little off buying it because that's not. I prefer to read my comics.
Yeah.
I have multiple copies of this issue, anyways, and it was really weird to pull a 10. There were also one of a kind sketch covers in there.
That I can understand definitely. That's really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the video it looked like there was other covers. It wasn't
Yeah.
just those 4 covers.
Yeah.
I'm happy for everybody who got the comic that they cannot read that they're very happy with. That's
So I'm a step behind. I know CGC, and there's that other one. What is PSA? Just a third company that is grading and sealing permanently in lucite comic books so that Dr. Sewage can't read them.
I think
Maybe they're better
authentication.
because they grade at 10, whereas I think most others tend to only go up as far as 9.8.
Well,
So,
10,
Oh, that's
10
right. Yeah, getting a 10.
I'm
is,
going to
like,
launch
not
one that goes up to
impossible.
11.
10s are
It's
possible.
louder. It's louder, isn't it?
10s are possible. Most of the comics were like 9.8. So I don't know. I tried to find out how many 10s they put in there, and I could not find out. You're only going to find out when people like report what they have. And I do not know how many sketch covers were put in there. A lot of PSA, I think, started doing sports cards, slab graded sports cards. The S, I believe, is professional sports something or other. I could be wrong, but I know the S is sports.
Yeah, so they're branching out a bit.
Would you? Does anyone know? Did PSA sell out of these Energon Universe line boxes?
Don't know.
Okay.
Do not know.
At that price, it's it was
It's
hefty.
premium.
But there are like 200,000 people in attendance at San Diego.
Yeah, I think I forget how many they had, something like 3,000, 4,000, somewhere around.
The line didn't look crowded when we passed by every time. So I'm just gonna say that.
And then presumably part of the PSA booth was also for bringing up your comics and either getting them graded or like handing them off to be graded, and then they'd ship them back to you.
Or sending someone off to help authenticate a signature.
Okay. Wow. Mark, do you have any more visual flair, or should we just keep talking?
I do, just on the comic exclusive specifically. So I'm going to skip forward. Here we go. The other exclusives were a Dusan Markovic, G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, a Harmacut 117, which was this Baroness on a motorcycle.
Surprise!
I don't know.
Baroness.
Just I won't. Shall I play the jingle? I won't play the jingle.
I think there is a motorcycle somewhere in Destro Search and Destroy, though, so that one might
maybe
kind of work.
And the other one was this Storm Shadow. Oh, Baroness, Diana's got this.
Oh,
you found it on your.
Yeah.
Was that one off of the show floor?
Yes. Ooh, I just dropped a bunch of stuff, and and he was there signing eventually.
Cool.
Yeah. So this is a nice cover. I like his work.
That's Tony Trophy, limited variant to 500, G.I. Joe Real American Hero issue 330. That was, I guess, this third exclusive. I've also got, I've got some pictures of Diana's travels around San Diego. So finally meeting Robert Kirkman there. So introducing yourself to the boss.
The man who loves to kill everything.
Right? He's dying.
I mean, he said, I read an interview where he said Optimus Prime's death was like one of his primary motivations in fiction writing. And he's like, well, I'm just going to tear everyone's heart apart in every comic TV show that I'm ever involved in. Pretty insane trajectory.
You got to know the stakes, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've met him before, but not enough that he recognizes me on sight. And, being socially awkward, I went up to him like, you can't sign my paychecks. And he went, okay.
That is how it went, pretty much.
So
Normally, he runs out of panels at top speed, but for some reason, no, I didn't trip him. For some reason, he wasn't dashing at top speed, so I actually managed to get, and at business things, like team luncheons, I don't want to be like, hey, stop and give me a picture, because that would be weird and unprofessional. So,
is this photo after the Energon Universe panel?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, nice fridge lanyard there.
Oh, thank you. They're great.
That was part of the things they were handing out.
Yeah.
Mark,
I saw a lot of those.
Mark, are there more photos in this? Hey, it's Larry Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Larry. He's such a nice guy. Lenny
Panzica. And who are those two guys?
Well, that is current
boss and old boss.
Current boss and old boss. So current in the blue hat is current Skybound editor and all-around amazing person, Alex Antone. Rhymes with phone. And then on the black hat, not because he's the bad guy, but in the black hat is past IDW editor all around amazing person, Tom Waltz, also writer of the incredibly successful TMNT, The Last Ronin. So they just happened to be right near each other when I grabbed one, and I went, "Oh, Alex, hey." "Oh, hey, Tom." So there we go. And Phil takes really good pictures.
That's
I
Tom
took
Waltz.
most of those pictures.
Tom Waltz is writing an upcoming Punisher special. I don't know if he's going to write all of them, but he's writing the first one where Punisher fights Black Widow.
I don't know why they all have to have beards, glasses, and baseball hats, but there you go.
Diana, it's because we're all losing our hair and we don't have shave.
Well, it's all going down. It's not lost.
You have to balance
it's just
out.
down there.
That's the cycle of
To be
life.
fair, I wasn't wearing my sunglasses, so.
And this is Andy Kubert, right?
Yes. I've only met him in email chains, so it was nice to see him in person.
Andy Kubert, cover artist of G.I. Joe at Marvel and also at Skybound, and co-creator, co-owner, co-artist of the new Skybound monthly series Terminal.
Mm-hmm.
Issue 1 was just out last week, folks, and it's very exciting. And it's sold like crazy, and there's going to be a second printing.
They had four SDCC covers. One was handed out during the Kirkman panel. The other 3 you went to each individual artist's booth and could pick up.
Cool. So Terminal was being discussed in the Kirkman panel alongside some of his Energon Universe stuff. But most of the comics news happened in Transformers and G.I. Joe. The Energon Universe is unstoppable panel, which I think at least 3 of the people in the audience here, well, in the panel here, attended. So I think Phil, Diana, Shane, you were in the room where it happened for that one.
Made it to that one, yeah.
So what was covered? It was Sean Makovitz from Skybound, one of the head honchos there. He was like the editor when it started up, but has sort of moved up a level and let Ben Abernathy sort of slide in as the hands-on guy on the editing. Connor Hughes on Void Rivals as the artist, and I felt a little bit sorry for Connor Hughes because I saw a lot of videos and panels of him alongside other creators like Robert Kirkman, and all of the questions going to Robert Kirkman and Connor just patiently twiddling his fingers, waiting for some art questions about Void Rivals. Joshua Williamson, the writer of G.I. Joe, Robert Kirkman, Skybound head honcho and writer of Void Rivals and Transformers, and chaired by Arun Singh over there on the left at the podium. And so, yes, thanks to Phil for most of these questions. I think the cool reveal was a wristband of Shane's. Let me do a close up there. Shane's got the props already.
The slap bracelet.
Slap bracelet.
That's beautifully 90s.
So was it literally one of these retro slap bracelets? It's rigid. You slap it on your wrist and it curls and it curls around. That's fabulous.
It does have a nice rubbery coating, so it does not cut into your arm, but otherwise, yes.
Right.
That's a little different from the 90s ones, which were fabric over, I think, tape measure material, actually.
Oh, gosh.
Right.
Yeah.
And the sound of slapping once those were handed out was just poppity, 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 pop all through the panel for the rest of
The
the
entire panel, yeah.
Matt Tracker has really improved wrist slapping technology. So
Right.
that's great.
Question for Phillip and Diana and Shane. The panel was named after Transformers and G.I. Joe. The whole universe is unstoppable, but it's Transformers and G.I. Joe. And in that promo picture, they've even cropped in a little bit so that the Void Rivals characters and the Mask characters on that slide Mark had up a couple photos ago are slightly out of the image. Did you get a sense from people's questions or sort of the audience energy? Were people in the room? I mean, I know that there's this fun freebie, the slap bracelet. Do you think people in the room are excited about Void Rivals, are excited about Mask?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, it
Transformers
seemed like it.
and G.I. Joe is definitely more the focus of people's front, but yeah, Void Rivals and Mask even more so than Void Rivals still had its fans.
Cool.
Yeah. And Mask had some nice reveals, so that was good.
If this is the surprise about issue 3, please don't tell me. I haven't had that spoiled for me.
We haven't had this. We haven't had the spoiler for issue 3 yet. But issue 3 will be coming out this coming week, and there is a cool reveal in issue number 3, which is top secret, and people don't know about yet. But if you're not got a pull list for Mask. Make sure you've got Mask issue number 3 somehow being obtained, because I think it's going to be one of these ones that will sell out and go to multiple reprints very soon. But there was lots of reveals, and I've got a short little video here that tells us about the next phase of the Energon universe.
I'm so jazzed for ROM. I've been obsessed with ROM as a kid. In the old toy, I never was able to get the toy, but adding ROM, it seems like Skybound is kind of doing what IDW did during the end of their run, but with greater planning and greater success rates at this point.
Yeah, we'll touch on ROM in a little second, I think, but there's quite a few slides, so we'll cover these at pace. So they started up with Mask first of all, and Mask issue number 5 will introduce T-Bob. So we've got a wonderful silhouette, which also features his eyes sort of glowing in this shadow, and they revealed the designs for both T-Bob and Scotty Tracker, and so there's Scott Tracker, and there's T-Bob, and on the bottom right-hand corner of this image is a T-Bob Max. So
it's got some Roboforce vibes there. It's really cool.
You know, my reaction to this drawing is just my impression of T-Bob.
Wow.
Nice.
So I don't know if that's the artist having fun with T-Bob Maps, or if that's something we're going to see for sure. I guess we are probably going to see T-Bob Maps.
I think that seems like a shoo-in. Yeah, we got to have.
Yeah. It was heavily
brutal
implied
T-Bob.
That was going to happen.
Yeah, we're going to get T-Bob Max.
We would have called it Extreme when I was a kid, but now we call it Max. So
we called it Extreme.
Yeah.
It's like a T-Bob Fluffy crossover. Fluffy from Bionic 6 and T-Bob just unite.
It's Hulkbuster T-Bob.
Right?
Yeah.
Rail things. Cool.
Where do you get these wonderful toys? So slide just flagging the importance of General Flag as a kind of a crossover character across the Energon universe, part of the Energon universe glue, appearing in Mask, Transformers, and in the G.I. Joe books as well. Then ROM, we were just talking about. So ROM was revealed in the Skybound blind bag for Mask, which is going to get a reprint as a standalone title for those people who weren't lucky enough to find it in their Mask blind bag, which I believe is
the ordering deadline for that has just passed.
Okay.
So your comic book store hopefully somehow knew, after an unsuccessful IDW ROM series and 30 years off the market from Marvel, your local comic book store could somehow intuit from sort of an appearance in the Energon universe. How many people want to buy a new Rob comic right now by Kirkman and Del Felici? Sorry, Mark, you were going to say when's it out?
I think this is out in August, which is this month. Wow.
Yes, we're now in August.
Passage of time. This one is a special. So it is a number 1. So it is a one and done from the creative team of that launched Void Rivals. The artist is returning back to his creator-owned title. So I think this is all we're going to see from him for the next little while. But Rom's story continues in the pages of Void Rivals. I think a sort of background appearance in Void Rivals issue 32, which is out, and then the next issue, issue number 33, he's on the front cover, and he's loud and proud. He's got his crazy organic poncho and kind of spiky arm, and then after Rom, we get the next character, entering the universe, Predacron. Which is one of these wild space characters from the world of G.I. Joe, the Lunatrix Empire, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, I'm curious what legal reason they had to change the name to Kron, and maybe it was creative because there's so many Krons.
I think it's always Predacron as opposed to Predacon for Transformers side.
It was Predacon on the
toy
box.
Was
Yeah. I think it's just to differentiate from the Transformers character.
There was a random comment during the panel. They threw out that we're just going to pretend the R was always there.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah. It makes things simpler. I understand.
I can't wait until Shockwave, the G.I. Joe character, meets Shockwave, the Decepticon.
I've taken that photo. I've definitely. It doesn't end well for the little guy.
Oh.
There was a letter in the back of the book which said something along, and this one's for Frank. There was a letter that said, if Starscream and Cobra Commander ever meet each other, how would they sound?
How would they sound?
Yeah.
Well, they'd sound very similar. They'd probably just complement each other's outfits. Oh, no, I think the blue really brings out your... Oh, I can't see your eyes. How many do you have under there?
Something
you
like
say
that.
similar, but Frank, yeah, that's what you're doing. You're nailing. There is that difference, and a lot of define that difference, and you're nailing it. There's the...
Yeah.
There is a difference, and I encourage people to go back and watch the first 5 episodes of G.I. Joe.
Yes.
Chris Latta is performing Cobra Commander in a slightly different way than 1 year later he would Starscream on Transformers.
And the same thing with Starscream. You watch those the season 1 compared to like the latter episodes, and especially season 3, he's like up 5 octaves. There's so many different versions as the series goes along. So it's kind of it's fun to listen to all that and try to pick from each one. Like,
can you imagine, Frank, if you had to do that? There's not enough tea with Manuka honey in the entire world. Your vocal cords
I want to watch this cartoon series on my streaming platform or Blu-ray. I would pay good money for it. So, Frank, I hope there is a lot of tea and honey in your future, because I know
he's a superhuman. He's a superhuman voice. He can handle
it. I know
it.
of
I
at least
believe in him.
one fan, me, who wants to see this happen. Mark, what's the slide we're looking at?
We are looking at the announcement of Void Rivals issue 37 through to 41, the next arc, which features a little-known Transformers character who looks a lot like that guy, that little weirdo off of the Farscape series, kind of an inverted poo chin,
right?
And announcing the new artist for that particular arc, which is Frank Mazzoli.
So we're looking at an image of Lord Gaikini, who shows up in 1 or 2 episodes in season 3 of Transformers. And my comparison is actually, I've always thought of him as kind of a Jabba the Hutt, who speaks in English. But your Farscape comparison may work better for some people.
So what next? More Void Rivals there. Then we moved on to G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe comics. So issue number 25 coming up this month, the double-sized issue featuring Night Force and Duke's main G.I. Joe team meeting up for the first time. So we've seen the solicits, we've seen the covers for that before. The big one here is There was a spoiler cover previously in the solicits, which featured, that big black spoiler. We knew it was going to be John Boy Myers, but we have now had that spoiler revealed.
I'm going to turn away, and maybe I can make it through the next minute without the 6 of you spoiling it for me.
Take off your headphones. Take off your head.
Watch out! There's spiders ahead! Turn back before it's too late!
So the spoiler is a Cobra Valkyrie becomes a new G.I. Joe character, Major Medusa. So we see the John Boy Myers cover of Major Medusa, a sort of a diatecherized version of the Valkyrie, the design there by Tom Riley, and the cover by John Boy Myers, which I think will be like a 1 in 50, so super hard to get if you're not working for Skybound. And that is all of the G.I. Joe spoilers done. So when Tim resumes his focus, he can
Madame Medusa is a great opportunity for artists to have at least one more. Well, now he's got his headphones on. I can't talk about it. I don't mind spoilers, but I'm not going to be the one who spoils.
I just want to point out.
Commission opportunity. We'll go that
I just want to point out that we're looking at this version of Superion with Thundercracker as Superion's left arm, and I really like this. But everyone, don't forget, the IDW Transformers did this already.
With Skyward.
Was it? Was it one of the Combaticons who died, and then Prowl became part of Bruticus?
Yes, Prowl. That's right. Yeah, Prowl.
Against Construct. Okay, it was one of the Constructicons died, and then Prowl became part of Devastator against his will. And I'm not saying anyone at Skybound is ripping off IDW. If you have 100 monkeys in a room with typewriters and they're all writing Transformer stories, eventually 2 of them are going to come up with the idea where someone in a combiner team dies and someone else joins the team.
Well, I mean, and Thundercracker and his varying loyalties across different canons, so it's made the character so much dang fun. I don't mind if there's a little bit if there's bleed over, of great ideas into stuff like that. I'm all for it. It's awesome.
Some of my favorite stuff in all of IDW's Transformers was that Thundercracker was writing a screenplay.
Yes.
Yeah.
He'd so embraced Earth culture that he had a dog and was writing a movie. And I think a lot of our comparisons now, it's like Skybound is doing such a good job, or like IDW messed it up with too many books or too much of a shared universe. That may be true, but IDW did a bunch of things right, including Thundercracker writing a movie and having a dog,
and getting shrunken and ridden by rock and roll on his back was one of my favorite panels of all time because it actually works. You could take the rock and roll figure and put it on your G1 Thundercracker, and it looks exactly like that panel. It's beautiful.
I do think that. Well, now I'm just going to be talking about Transformers. I do think that when Devastator showed up a couple issues ago in Transformers, as drawn by Dan Mora, I do think there was like a confusing 2 pages where it wasn't clear to me that Devastator was formed out of only 3 Constructicons. It's just like his top half, and I thought that shouldn't work. That shouldn't work at all. And then they're all like, "Oh, what do we do?" And I wanted to write a letter, and as sometimes happens, I didn't.
That's abrupt ending to a sentence. Yeah. And more Transformers. Guest artist Carl Kerschel. That's good news. He's great.
Finally. Also, get this guy on G.I. Joe. But Transformers, finally.
Yeah, he did some variant covers early on. It was on Cobra Commander, I think. He did some great Dreadnoks. So that's that, and that was basically the end of the panel. For those in the room, what was your sense of the panel? Any other highlights that I've missed and not covered?
People were excited; they were into it.
Portion. Yeah. Somebody did ask Robert Kirkman, "Where's the love for Bumblebee?" and he replied, "It's not here."
Oh God!
You know why I'm okay with that? So it's at first blush it seems sort of cynical. It's like, well, everyone loves Bumblebee, and Bumblebee's such a big part of the brand for the last 20 years. But I would argue that Hasbro, because of its marketing decisions, has gone too far. And in the same way that with like G.I. Joe, it's like every 6 months, whatever G.I. Joe is, however we rebrand it, reposition it, relaunch it, there's got to be a Duke, a Cobra Commander, a Scarlet, and a Destro. And that's cool, but you do that at the expense of a bunch of other characters. And it's like, well, you could cycle out Stalker and cycle in Roadblock or something. It's like, no, it's got to be Stalker. And so there's this, like, over the last 25 years, there've been like 150 Optimus Prime and Bumblebee toys, no matter what. And you know, he's in. Have you guys seen that TV commercial for the General, the like low cost car insurance with Shaquille O'Neal,
of course,
and the CG General, and then also like Paramount, DreamWorks, Skydance movie Bumblebee? It is so embarrassing and aggravating and amazing. And it's like, no, you know what? In comics, we can take a break from Bumblebee.
Yeah, I mean, even through the movie, like watching him get killed, I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. But like, I was like, well, okay, hopefully this means more other, like all the other characters, the tertiary characters that we never get like enough of. Like, there's, you know, Cliffjumper, Windcharger, there's Sea Spray that I want to see all that more developed. And even like the IDW had a lot of focus on Bumblebee, although it was as more of a ghost. Yeah. But it was like, oh God, he's still here. Like this little guy, you can't get away from him. I mean, I understand it's part and parcel, but it's a whole huge cast of characters in Transformers because they're introducing new toys every year. And it's like, yeah, it is nice to see. I see a lot of people who grew up not with G1 like I did, and they complain like, why always the G1 focus? So it's kind of nice to like that Kirkman had enough clout to kind of tell Hasbro, look, I'm going to kill off this character. We're not going to deal with him again. The guy you had in the movie, we're going to move on and do some other cool stuff.
It's like with Snake Eyes. Everyone wants Snake Eyes in the Energon universe. And I get that. I get when Snake Eyes, they thought the last big surprise was going to be Snake Eyes showing up.
I want Ozone from EcoForce in there. I want all these like third tier.
You don't want Ozone from Star Brigade in there?
Oh, so many Ozones.
Or Ozone from just normal Battle Corps. Yeah, Ozone, he is the most important member of G.I. Joe, and he needs more prominence. Sorry, Duke lovers. Ozone is awesome.
Don't pick on the Duke.
I'm just saying Ozone doesn't get enough credit.
I got to make my point before. Yeah.
Oh,
so
sorry.
Look, no, don't worry about it. I don't work on that book, so I'm not privy to those things. And if I was, I wouldn't say anything as to if and when. But I think it's important that if you're doing a new comic and you're a new publisher, you need to break out, right? So there have been no Snake Eyes covers for Energon. There's been no Snake Eyes in Energon. That being said, you also, if you're a publisher or a producer or a licensed commercial maker, you have to understand what's going to appeal and get the most attention from people. So, you know, we still have Real American Hero. And so if you're missing Snake Eyes and Energon, you've got all the Snake Eyes you want. And
yeah, you got like three different Snake Eyes all working at the same time.
Do you remember for a moment in, what was it, 2012 when Hasbro launched its TV station channel, The Hub, and Transformers Prime, the animated series premiered, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was the voice of Cliffjumper in the first 2 episodes. And I remember thinking, oh, they're doing something with the other guy. And that didn't last long. No. But for a moment, Cliffjumper was important.
It's a cool character, too. It's a really cool depiction of the character.
And Bumblebee and Snake Eyes are both great characters, and I like Snake Eyes a lot, and his story is important. So it's...
But this is a different story with the different exploration. It's nice to have it. Doesn't all have to be the same thing. It's
nice to be able to have that, not Snake Eyes, but you got to understand, not Bumblebee, but you kind of also have to understand that these people, if it doesn't sell or get attention, they're not going to do it. You know, the company licensing it out is going to say, well, we want to make sales. So we have to use that.
By this logic, the longer we keep supporting the Energon Universe G.I. Joe, the longer it can go without introducing Snake Eyes, which it sounds like we all sort of think is really fun and novel. So let's all keep supporting the Energon Universe G.I. Joe.
Absolutely, yeah.
And by
and
ARH
Real
too.
American
Yeah,
Hero. Yeah,
please.
Yes, of course.
I love that that's a continuing story, and it's if you like ninjas, boy, are there lots of ninjas in that one, like constantly. But it's it's awesome. It's like going for decades now. And then, but yeah, the Energon universe is like another take. It's another thing, just like there's been other GI Joe takes before, like by Chuck Dixon and all these other people. And I think it's a lot of fun, and it is nice. We can get some other characters, but I guess maybe the focus is you just have to like kill them violently at the very beginning, and then you get the splash and you get the sales. As long as if Snake Eyes shows up and Energon, maybe he'll just get like smushed in like immediately underneath like a
maybe
foot.
maybe Dr. Sewage, maybe you're making an observation. Maybe if we look back at like issue 1 of Duke, one of those generic people who died actually was Snake Eyes, and we just haven't.
That's why he's so angry.
We haven't been told. Like Duke shows up and Dr. Burkhart's house has been shot up. It's like, who's that? That's Snake Eyes.
But I think, also, if you're not reading Real American Hero, you should be, because I know what's coming down in the pipeline, and it's really good. So please hang on to that. It's Larry is knocking it out of the park, and they're kind of also letting us do things that we haven't necessarily been able to do for decades.
Yeah,
I just realized.
Yeah, it's like, if you're not enjoying the issue about the brainwave scanner, don't worry, because the next one is going to be a Joe Kubert-esque war story, and the next issue after that is going to be one set in space. So there's all sorts of flavors of ARA, literally potentially one issue after the next.
Never ever say that somebody's ruining some brand that you loved as a kid, because it's always going to be some other iteration for you to enjoy, and nothing has ever been erased from when you were a kid. That's still in your brain. Nobody can ruin that for you. Enjoy the Energon universe. If that's really not your calling, enjoy Era. Like that's, and then enjoy it all if you have taste.
No one can destroy your childhood.
No.
You're an adult now, so
it's already gone.
We are?
Maybe physically, if not mentally. Yeah.
Blame the banks and CEOs for ruining your childhood. They killed it. You're
all
an
this
adult now.
all this white in my beard.
I would like to say, without spoilers, that after the Energon Universe panel, I ran into John Boy Meyer and told him they revealed his cover, and his response was, "Oh, which one?"
Cool.
I'd also like to say the current arc of ARA, if ever a time there was a chance to bring back the G.I. Joe featuring Snake Eyes line title, this would have been it.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe featuring Snake Eyes is.
Snake Eyes.
Yeah. I think it's time for another advert break. Oops. Let's do this. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was the short version. Okay. But yeah, check out all of the social medias for the amazing stop motion Big Bad Toy Store video featuring Hooded Code Commander and the voice talents of Frank. That was a really great surprise to see that one pop up.
We're coming up on our usual normal stop time, and there are so many wonderful guests. I imagine it's going to take that long just to outro everyone. So maybe starting with Phillip, is there one last fun observation you have from your Comic-Con International experience this year, or piece of advice to someone considering going? And the rest of you, Dr. Sewage, you're second, Frank, you're third, you could think about. Phillip, any final thoughts?
Don't start with San Diego Comic-Con. You're starting comic conventions on hard mode if you're doing that. Go to a hotel con, work your way up to a small convention center, and then, baby step your way into San Diego Comic-Con, because it's overwhelming to even seasoned pros.
Dr. Sewage, any fun thoughts about your past experience last weekend or advice for people?
I mean, just one of my when people are there at any of these Comic Cons. I mean, as doing this in the '90s, we drug around a 50-pound bag of sand for a bunch of artists to sign, and had got sketches from like Mike Mignola. It was the dumbest thing we did as kids, but we were just like, well, they'll see us. But literally, these people are there, like especially like go check out Artist Alley. Those people most of them are very happy to chat with you. Never if you ever have a bad experience, don't listen. It wasn't my fault, because most of those people are super awesome and friendly and want to chat. And at the big product booths too, it's like normal people like Shane's working there, and like, we're all fans and stuff, and don't be too shy and just be a normal person there, and don't ogle too hard. If you see a cosplay that makes you fancy, you can compliment it. That's really nice. But everyone there is just there to have a good time, and you can be there to have a good time too. And I was having a great time just meeting people and chatting. So I love it.
Frank, I'm going to skip you because you might do a cool voice. We'll come back to you. Diana, any final thoughts about your San Diego experience?
It's always a whole lot of fun. I think my one tip for people is a lot of people try and do it all. Especially San Diego, if you line up for Hall H, and Hall H was its own mess of problems this year, but if you line up for Hall H, remember that time can't be used for all this really cool stuff. So maybe pick one or two things, or if you don't get in, that's fine. If you don't get to do all the cool things that are like outside that you think you must do, there's no must do. Pick a few panels. But I also want to segue and announce, our crossover book, right? Can I spend some time to it's already been announced, but just remember, people.
Mark, can you go full screen on? Yeah.
Coming up.
Oh yeah.
Please
Yeah.
go to your local comic shop and order this as soon as you can. I don't know when that is. Tim, you might know. So our Tomb Raider, it's a beautiful book. It's a fantastic story. It's a hell of a lot of fun.
This is a 4-issue miniseries, Diana. 5, 4,
5, I think. 4,
5. Okay.
That is such a fun cross. Who originally cooked that up?
I do not know. I'm assuming since it's an anniversary, a big anniversary for Lara Croft, it might have been a Hasbro Tomb Raider thing. Hasbro, what is it? Crystal Dynamics, but
Okay.
but it could have been a Skybound Crystal Dynamics. We saw the awesome Lara Croft figure, however, in person.
It's
in the
awesome.
plastic.
I love stuff like that, and it reminds me of all these people into classified stuff now getting Tomb Raider. I still want my Rocky Balboa GI Joe that never happened, but it's like so cool. Like I love just being able to cross an IP like that, and it just makes your fandom feel so much more like full. Somehow.
And it's a perfect fit. I mean, it really does fit so well.
Yeah.
Shane, final observations from your 4 days at San Diego Comic-Con?
Yeah, I will say the stories are all true. It is definitely overwhelming, but in all the best ways. Will Spertasio, that was an amazing moment for me. I had a very long conversation with him that he kept going. Like he did not want me to leave. He was enjoying it. And we talked about 50 different things. And it's the first time I've met him. I was able to get that Deathblow commission. And it was just an amazing experience that I don't know that I would have had that anywhere else, but I'm so glad I went and got to see it and experience it.
Yeah, because I mean, we haven't talked about it so much, but big part of San Diego is the comics and the artist alley. So just a huge amount of talent rock up, and it's a magnificent opportunity to kind of encounter these various comic greats and who've bringing along their wares, potentially original comic art, get commission a sketch, etc. Another sort of great.
I also think I saw in Artist Alley quite a bit of pushback. Checking on people on AI art and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I love that they're pushing back on that. The fans and the conventions are pushing back on some of that garbage and keep it up. Keep bullying. Keep bullying. That's the only form of bullying that's okay is against AI.
Yeah. I love Artist Alley, and it's great. You go up to the guy who you're just sort of shy and nervous to talk to, and they're always so kind and cool and love chatting with anyone, and they are just as geeky as the rest of us. So you'll end up talking. You may end up talking about their favorite comic, which is not always theirs, and so it's just a lot of fun.
If there's a line, don't keep talking to the person who's signing your comic or sketching for you.
Right.
If you can tell and they need you to move along because you're weird or a jerk, move along. But a lot of times that artist or writer who you're talking to has spent the last 6 months by themselves in a room writing or drawing comics. without direct interaction with humans, I'm sure there have been a lot of online interaction. And so like Shane and meeting Wills Portasio and that conversation being pleasant, you may be a weirdo and you may be a jerk, but you may be like a nice, interesting fan and a nice, interesting professional would like to talk to you for a minute.
I'm always a weirdo and they still talk to me.
Frank, I'm going to add Frank the person. Do you have any final thoughts about your 4 days at San Diego?
Similarly, so far as advice, talk to people. Go there. This is our clubhouse. This is the wood-paneled basement of our dreams, where you can walk up to Art Adams and actually have a conversation with this rock star that you had the posters of on your wall of all the X-Men jumping forward. I love what you said, Dan, about Hall H. Hall H is great if you want to sit in a room and watch a thing, but you could use that time connecting with people that love the things that you love, that make the things that you love. Because the people that make the things that you love the things that you love because they're making the things that you love. And there's no barrier. The Portasio thing, man, I was like getting emotional just looking at those pictures. That's so cool. But yeah, there's a way to find a smaller convention inside such a big convention that you can walk through and connect with fellow like-minded kind weirdos.
The convention was inside us all along.
The convention was the friends you made along the way. Yes.
I have a question for Cobra Commander. How was your convention last weekend?
Well, it was a little bit sweaty because, as I said, there's a lot of layers that I have to wear just to kind of keep up appearances. But I gotta say, my tailor is phenomenal, or sensational is what I should say.
Oh, thanks much, Commander. It means a lot to me right there. Really hard on that coat for you. I'll be expecting my ruby gems in the mail any day now.
Well, we can give you the ruby gems, or maybe a few extra cases of grape soda.
Soda? Oh, I'll take the soda, mate. I know a deal when I hear a deal, eh?
Saves us so much money, guys.
Phillip, where can we find you on the internet?
You'll find me on Articulated Points. That is the podcast I do with my friend Patrick Stewart, where we go into deep dives sometimes into the toys we love. A lot of times it's G.I. Joe, sometimes it's not. Ghostbusters, Star Wars, even Disneyland we've done before. So we're on YouTube as Articulated Points.
Shane, where can people find you on the internet?
I frequent the Talking Joe website and the Patreon, where I am Shane version 1. Otherwise, Facebook.
Diana, where can people find you on the internet?
Well, I'm old, so Facebook. And Instagram, and that's generally it. I go by my name.
Frank, where can people find you on the internet?
Instagram is ftodaro, Frank Todaro VO on like Twitter and TikTok, but I mainly use Instagram and on Facebook, and franktodaro.tv is the website, or if you see me in the grocery store, punch me in the arm and I'll yell something in Cobra's voice. I don't know.
Usually, ow.
Stop!
Retreat!
Dr. Sewage, where can people find your various projects on the internet?
Most everywhere. I'm tagged under Sewage 666, IG, Facebook, formerly Twitter, Blue Sky. I'm pretty bad about being online everywhere. And check out the bands Ghoul and Exhumed unrelatedly if you get a chance to check them out. So
very good. And Tim, where can people find you when they're not when you're not talking to illustrious guests on the internet?
With my creative partners in New York, I have a YouTube channel that's video essays on TV and film. That's Atomic Abe on YouTube. I have a brick and mortar comic book store that is just outside of Boston, Hub Comics, where I'm probably going right now. And I have a blog where I write about G.I. Joe, a realamericanbook.com. And sometime today, I think I'll actually post part 3 of my, speaking of conventions, Joe Fest 2026 report.
Next year's the 10-year anniversary, right?
Right.
Yeah. And you can find us at talkingjoe.co.uk. That's the website that points you to all of the places we can be found. Make sure that you've liked and subscribed and click that bell, etc. And the website points you to the direction of our Patreon, patreon.com/talkingjoe, where the likes of Richard, Sam, Christopher, Shane, V1, Simon, Joe, Craig, D, Shane, V2. This one is in a very strange costume on stage, singing his own little concerts. Patrick, Infinite Entertainment, Gary V, Coldroff B, Squishy, Matt, Edgy B, and Jonathan. They are getting early access to content and a warm glow in their hearts for paying off my ridiculous StreamYard bills. And so I think that is us almost very done, pretty much done. But before we go, Tim, was there anything that you meant to mention that we've not quite covered?
Nobody Beats Talking Joe, an international podcast.
That was it. Laters.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Cobra!
Join us on
Retreat!
Talking Cobra.
Talking Joe!
Laters.
Retreat! And now you don't know, because not knowing loses half the battle.